We are at Davos at World Economic Forum 2024 and India is the buzzword. There is a lot of excitement about India. I have a very special guest with me. Shri Hardeep Singh Puri is with me. Sir, thank you so much for joining us at Times Network. There is a lot of excitement about India and I think India this year has completely dominated the presence at Davos. What is your view?
Well, I would endorse your view that there is a lot of excitement about India. But I would only add that excitement is anchored in reality, in facts. That excitement is anchored in the India growth story and how the growth story is playing out. And that story is not just about massive increases in capital expenditure. It's also about digital, social, financial inclusion. It is about taking the benefits of development to a very large population. I mean, during the pandemic, we started feeding 800 million people 3 meals of dry ration in a day, and that's going to continue for 5 years. The fact that 500 million people have availed of the Ayushman Bharat card, which provides economically weaker section families with up to 500,000 rupees health cover. The fact that we have provided 40 million Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Grameen, that is rural and urban. But that's on the one side. The Ujjwala scheme has resulted in subsidized gas being available, free cooktops, and 100 million of our sisters from economically weaker section have got those gas cylinders. But it's also about another thing. India is rapidly developing. We are in a few years' time going to have the world's second largest urban metro system. Urban transport I deal with as part of the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. So the India story all round is not just a bright spot on a global scenario which is got a few tension points, many challenges. Economic recovery in the global economy, especially some large economies, is less than, it's not as hard a landing, but it's still fragile. And India with 7.2% plus growth in the last 3 quarters and an expected growth of even higher in the next year. So India is poised to become from the 5th largest to the 4th and then the 3rd largest economies. And for India, that's a very big thing. I mean, you know, after 190 years of colonial association, we came down to contributing from 25% of global GDP in 1700 to 2% or so. And now we are on the rise. Therefore, make no mistake, people don't come to Davos to do charity or philanthropy. They come here to make contacts, to network and to strike business deals. And therefore, if there is a prominent Indian presence, it is on account of the fact that there is interest in India.
Right. In fact, sir, that was my next question. You know, the naysayers or the people with colonial mindset, they always had doubts and they used to raise questions that the growth in India is led by government spending. Contrary to that, what we have seen here is there is a lot of excitement on the corporate level too for investments. What is your take?
No, that is precisely the point. I mean, the government, as in the government, is one part. Then now you suddenly have the Indian public sector companies doing exceptionally well. The private sector has always been active. There was some feeling earlier that the private sector interest was flagging or a little waning a bit. But I think Davos and, you're supposed to spend 3 days here meeting with hundreds and thousands of people from all over the world. And then you say that the naysayers come in with the residual cynicism and I would say also a fair degree of political motivation which is negative. But then the India, as you not just landed on the moon, the first country on the South Pole, we're literally over the moon. But what is being showcased is the Indian growth, the Indian resilience and the fact that even better times are ahead. I mean, our urban spending, just to give you, went up from 1,57,000 crores in between the 10 years between 2004 and 14. In the 9.5 years of the Modi government, it's gone way beyond 11 times that amount. Now there is activity, there is spending. Our automobile market is going to be one of the largest in the world. Our energy consumption today is 3 times the global average. And in the next 20 years, of all the growth that the global economy is going to see in energy demand, 25% of that will come from India. So that is the reality. And therefore, I'm not surprised that all the companies that I've met, CEOs, I have about, literally back-to-back meeting, many of them, even Cargill wants to look at, it's got $165 billion turnover. They want to look at biofuels in India. I look at the other companies, not only from the United States, UK, Europe, but from Latin America. So there is an all-round interest in developing networks, developing linkages, and also further intensifying and deepening those relationships.
Right. Sir, I must compliment you. Yesterday I was speaking to the Minerals and Energy Head of World Economic Forum, and he actually endorsed our stance that by 2070 India will be a carbon neutral country, because they were
well before that. I mean, if when a country like India, which has a great premium on places a premium on credibility, as a country we may announce 2070 as a net zero, but most of our oil companies have got net zero targets of 2035, 2040, including the big ones. So,
right. Sir, are you concerned about the geopolitical situation right now, considering what is happening in the Red Sea area?
You have to be concerned. Anyone who deals with geopolitical questions, who deals with issues relating to global trade, you are concerned, but you're not unduly concerned to the point of being worried. I'm convinced, first, to begin with, that none of the state actors involved wants an exacerbation of tensions or wants major conflagration to take place. So, to use a pun, I think we will navigate around this also.
Sir, one last question for you. We have seen very confused reaction from opposition. Yesterday also there were some allegations from Mr. Rahul Gandhi about, centers dealing with some of the corporate houses, and the same parties, state governments are signing MOUs with them. What is your take?
I don't think I want to place myself in the position of having to find consistency in Mr. Rahul Gandhi's statement. He is entirely welcome to say what he wants to. The fact of the matter is, I don't think any political party can predicate its future on giving gali to industrialists. After all, the same industrialists whom he is giving gali to have undertaken major developmental projects in many of the states. So he's welcome to what he says. In some ways, that kind of inconsistency and flip-flop enliven the political discourse a little. It makes for a little bit of entertainment. But other than that, I don't take what he says more seriously.
The reaction has been very confused about the inauguration of Ram Temple also.
Well, and I think, that is going to get them into bigger political trouble than they realize. Because whether you go or respond positively to an invitation, or you decide for whatever reasons to not to respond positively to the invitation, that's your business. But to make politics out of it, I think is something that would be even in their measurement and compilation of laws in politics, it will be a costly one.
Right. So what would be your message to the investor community and the business community present here?
I don't need to give them a message. They've come here to hear the India story. They know about the India story. That's why they are here. And that's why they are participating, not just with their enthusiasm, but they're actively meeting our business people, meeting the government representatives, and working out means of further intensifying the existing linkages, developing new ones, because the business, nobody comes here for charity. Davos is not a platform for philanthropy. It's a great place to meet people, to establish contacts, renew networking, and to find new business opportunities.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.